Hey, a quick video to give people a comparison between the Sony 20-70 f4 and the new Sigma 20-200. I have both lenses here and I'm a big fan of the 20-70. I've been using it for a couple of years now. It's a fantastic lens and I personally am a big supporter of lower, slower f-stop lenses such as the 20-70. This lens is light, it's portable, it's got a huge zoom range which is really useful, particularly when you combine it with a high resolution sensor, because you can punch in from full frame to APS-C mode and get it all the way to 100. So you're effectively in one lens, if you're using a high resolution sensor like the Sony A7R5 or A7CR, getting a 20-100 in one small package. And for things like street photography, having a low f-stop, a fast lens, isn't particularly useful in a lot of scenarios. It's a personal opinion and it can be useful for different styles, but you can get great shots with a slower lens. So I'm a big fan, and I've been saying that we need more of these small, compact zoom lenses for a while, and Sigma has delivered. So recently, a few weeks ago, Sigma announced and then released the new 20-200, which is this lens here. Now, it's slightly heavier. It's 150 grams or so heavier than the Sony, and I've been using both now for a week. I've really enjoyed the 20-200. So you don't necessarily need a zoom range going all the way to 200, but it's just nice to have it. And when you're traveling, to just have one lens that can do nearly everything you could imagine as a shot is just very useful. So for me, the ultimate travel combination is to take one slow super zoom that's a bright weather lens, useful throughout the day for just about any shot, whether it's zooming into wildlife or taking street shots or zooming out and getting group shots with your friends. Super zooms can do that. What they can't do is low light or shallow depth of field. And that's why I would always travel with two lenses. I'd take one super zoom and I'd take one faster lens with me, like a 35 1.4. Now, comparing these two, what do I think? Both are really sharp. They're both great. I think, honestly, if you look at some detailed reviews done by Frost or others, or Dustin Abbott, you'll see that probably the resolution of the Sony is slightly better than the Sigma, particularly in the corners and the extremes. But in terms of street photography, where maximum resolution is not really going to make your photography or your photos any better, I don't think they're noticeably different. Both produce really high quality images, and I've only have an A7CR and an A7R5, and I can't tell. Honestly, I couldn't tell. If you shot an image on one and the other, I couldn't tell you which one was shot on which lens. So they're both, for me, very comparable in terms of image quality. They're very comparable in terms of weight. The Sony's a bit lighter, I said that already, but actually they're pretty similar. In terms of form factor, the Sigma is slimmer. So I don't know if you can see that, but the Sony is shorter but wider, and the Sigma is longer but thinner. And when you're shooting on a smaller camera like the A7CR, this camera, actually the thinner form factor fits better. Ergonomically, it's a more enjoyable experience, and I find that the fit of the 20-200 on the A7C series is really good. And yeah, but to be fair, both were fine. The 20-70 was also a really good, a really nice ergonomic experience. So in summary, I really don't think there's much between them, except that one's slightly heavier, one's slightly longer, but you're getting 130 millimeters of extra zoom range for that, which for me is clearly worth it. When traveling with the 20-70, quite clearly, if you were doing wildlife shots. There were many animals that were just too far away. But a 200 actually can get you pretty close. So the Sigma really deals with that problem. Clearly you're not going to be doing any bird shots or birding photography, but you're going to be able to do a lot of things with a lens that's really at quite a competitive price point, because they're both close in terms of price. In fact, the Sigma might even be slightly cheaper. I'd have to go and check that, but you can look that up wherever you're based. And I think that Sigma have really done an amazing job with this lens. So my opinion, highly recommended. And I personally will be selling my 20-70, keeping the Sigma 20-200 and using it as my main travel lens. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I've had a couple of people ask me my opinion on these two lenses, particularly since they know that I love the 20-70. And there you have it. Those are all the details that are mainly about my opinion. If you want to know the technical details, then there are many other YouTubers that you should check out before you buy the lens. All right, until next time.